Hey guys, it's Adam again. Welcome back to Tutorial Tuesday. Today I'm going to be showing you how to restring an acoustic guitar and a classical guitar, and that will also help you learn how to string both electric guitar and ukulele as well. So things that you'll need a string winder. Well, you don't need it, but it'll make it a lot easier. You can get this at pretty much any guitar shop. And you also need a wire cutter. This is a Planet Waves string winder that has a wire cutter attached to it. So this is really handy. So first of all, you're going to need strings also. I'm using Elixir light gauge strings for this. And I'm just going to show how to do one string on each guitar. So we're going to look at the strings, and they're listed based on the thickness. So I'm going to do the 6th string. So that's going to be the greatest thickness. It's 0.053. So we're going to use this string, take it out. And the first thing we need to do is take off a string. And it's best to just do one string at a time because it keeps the neck from getting warped too much. Sometimes if you're planning on polishing the guitar or conditioning the fretboard, which I suggest doing every once in a while to keep the guitar in good shape, you might want to take all the strings off at once. Just gonna makes it easier to do that. But most of the times, just do one string at a time. So you're gonna put the string winder on the string. You gotta release the tension before you take the string off. So I'm unwinding, and then once you get far enough, you can probably just pull the string off. Yeah. All right, now we're gonna come over here. This string winder also has a little groove there that you can use to pull out the peg. So we're gonna use it like a little lever. Just do this kind of motion. You can probably just pull it out. There you go. So it just comes out, and we have an old string. So get rid of it. Make sure you don't lose track of these strings because they can break vacuum cleaners, as I've been told. Alright, so now we've got our new string. We're going to take our peg. We're going to go back here. And we're just going to stick the string in, doesn't matter how far. And we're going to put the peg on top of it and then pull it up as far as it'll go. Okay? Now we're going to extend it back here. Maybe align this so that the hole in the peg is facing towards the neck. We're going to string it through. Whoop. Okay. And then we can't start winding it with all the slack gone. We have to leave some slack. So I usually maybe go to the 5th fret and I'll measure out like 1.5 frets. And then I'll crimp the string, which is basically where you just bend it right here. And you're just going to crimp it like that, just so it stays in place. Okay, and now for the 6th, 5th, and 4th string, you're going to be winding the string in this direction. For the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string, as you can see, it's going to wind around in the opposite direction. Okay, now what we're going to do is this extra that we have is going to go underneath the first time around, and then after that it's going to go over. So right now it's going to go underneath, so I'm just going to pass it through like that underneath. I'm going to hold this with my thumb just to keep some pressure in the string, and then I'm going to use my string winder and start turning. So it should go around in this motion. So see how the extra string is underneath right now? So there it goes. Keep pressure on the string. This takes a little bit of practice. Okay. And now I'm going to make sure that this extra string goes above for the rest of the turns. Sometimes this thing can fling out and whip you, so watch out. Around we go. And you have to be careful, sometimes like this, you'll see this peg try to come out, just gotta push it back in. Alright, and then go back, just keep winding. Okay, and then you're going to want to have some sort of tuner. Let me grab mine really quick. I have a tuner on my phone actually. which was a free app that I got. There it is. So I'm going to tune this string to E. Alright, there we go. And you'll have to keep tuning it eventually until the string gets broken in well. But now I'm just going to use my wire cutter. And sometimes I like to leave just a little bit of slack. But I'll usually cut it about here. Just cut the string. And you got a new string on. Alright, so let's move on to the classical guitar next, which is a little bit more tricky. Everybody's okay? No guitars were hurt in the making of this. Okay, and then for the classical, I'm going to use my D'Addario normal tension. That's what I like to use. Okay, so rip it open. And these strings are labeled. Here's our E6, so we can set these aside for now. Pull off our tape, and oops, we gotta take off the string. So just like before, now you'll see like the tuning peg is a little bit different here. They don't stick up. You have to wrap it around this little column. So release tension. And then once you have it far enough, you can probably just use your hand and kind of unwind it the rest of the way. Maybe. There we go. Alright, and then I have the system where I tie these knots. And then what I do with the extra is that you'll see how I have a little extra tail sticking off, but it's wrapped up in the next string. So I might have to loosen the 5th string also to get this out. We'll see. See if I can pull it out. Oh. There we go. Undo this little knot. Alright. There we go. Take our new string. Unwind it. That. Okay. First thing we have to do is make our little knot. Now this is kind of tricky, so pay attention. I'm going to run this through here, if I can get in there. Alright, now here's what you're going to do. You're going to take this, you're going to go above, I'll call this direction above. Go this way, around, and then make a little loop like that. Okay. Then you go in the middle, like that. Okay. And I'm going to go around one more time, like that. I'm going to take all the slack out. Or as far as possible. Okay, now I'll go back over here. Orient the hole in a way that you can get it in. Okay. Now same thing. We're gonna have to leave some slack, so I'll measure like a fret, or maybe a fret and a half, and then I'm gonna start winding. And sometimes what I like to do with the nylon strings, especially the higher strings, which aren't wound, is it can be tricky. Let's see. It can be tricky. They can slip a little bit, so I might wrap this around just once or twice, just like that, just to help it wind. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the outside the first time, so towards that way, and then the rest are going to be towards the inside. that going here. So I went to the outside the first time, now I'm going to pull it inside for the rest. Like so. Just make sure this doesn't get in the way. Pull out our handy dandy tuner again. I am not affiliated with Droid in any way. Classical guitars are a little bit more finicky. You might want to pull up on the string a little bit to pull out extra tension. It'll help the guitar settle into its tuning faster. Okay, and then we're at our E for the guitar. Take our wired cutter. Grab this extra here, it's kind of underneath, but just cut it. And we've got the classical done. Now I'll show you really quick ukulele, and you'll see that it's got the same basic knot at the bottom as we just did on the classical guitar. And then if you look at the top, it's got an acoustic kind of peg head to it. So you kind of do the bottom like classical, top like acoustic. And then electric guitar is also like an acoustic. The only difference is